I'd like to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and 84% of everybody who watches these videos is not subscribed. So if you do enjoy today's video or any of the ones you might have seen here in the past, please consider subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. Today, let's talk a little bit about protecting your space. That's a term that I heard while I was watching Lunar Phase, I think the Super TSB like tournament series they do at Level Up for Melty Blood and some other anime games. But one of the commentators said that. They said, this character needs to protect their space, or this person needs to protect their space. And to me, that means a few different things. One of them being, don't let them approach for free. If we were to take our character and set a space, right? Let's set an effective space. Think of it like a circle around your character. I would say you could set that space that you can call yours based on your furthest button. So for me, I think it'd be like 2C or it'd be 5C. This is my effective range, and this is what I want to protect. I don't want to let them enter this range for free, because then I'm kind of at a disadvantage, you know? Like, if I'm this close, sure, I have good close buttons like this, but so do they. My advantage comes from these buttons. At least that's what I feel like right now. That's what I feel like, is that these buttons are very instrumental in my neutral. So all too often do I see somebody, I don't know, all the way across the screen, just full run at me, right? Like just full sprint. There's no walking, there's no IAD, there's no jumping. It's, okay, I need to be in my opponent's range so I can hit them. I'm going for it. So what can we do to deter this behavior? Like, what can we do to stop the opponent from just throwing themselves at us and to keep ourselves safe in the process, right? And keep ourselves in an advantage to where our buttons work at the optimal ranges. And what I can tell you is checking dashes, right? Checking movement in general. And if you've ever played any other game, this also applies. You know, you probably know this. This applies to a lot of other games, not just Melty Blood. And a person that's very good at this is Punk. It's what makes Punk, I think, a very strong player, is he's very, very good at checking movement on any character he plays, but you can see it a lot on Karen. You'll see him do like crouch jab jab into Tenko, which is, it's like 2 crouch jabs and then a quarter circle forward, kick then punch, right? It's not the easiest thing in the world to do on reaction, but he's very good at it. He's very good at looking at his opponent, saying this person's gonna dash me, or this person's mid dash, I'm gonna press my button and combo into it, right? And that's the same mentality that I'm taking with this game, right? So if I have CL running at me, right? If I have this other character, let me set the bot to just run at me. Let's see, start dummy recording. We just have her running like that, okay? If I set her to do that, I can react to some degree to this, right? If she's closer, obviously it's a little bit harder. You might want to check with something like this, but you can check with this, and then this starts a combo, right? That's why I've been using this to sort of check those full screen runs. And the thing about it is you can't stop your dash into a block in this game, right? Like, if you see, I'm trying right here, I have like a slowdown thing, right? Like I have a recovery here before I can block, so I am susceptible to getting hit. And this feels very unnatural to me, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm not used to this yet. What you have to do is cancel it into a button, and then you can block, you know, like cancel it into this, or you can cancel it into something that might hit them, and basically force them to block, or you get a hit. But on the other end, if we're, you know, against that, right? We're against the person just running, we can use that to our advantage. We can use the fact that they cannot block out of their dash or their full screen run immediately to our advantage by, you know, pressing these buttons that I'm talking about. And like I said, in a perfect scenario, I'm using this to check, right? I'm using this to check and then go into a combo. But sometimes that's not the case, right? If she starts running from right here, this might not work, right? This might not work because she's going to meet me and press her button, and I'm going to get beat because this has a long startup and it's like a really long button. So then maybe I want to just check it with this, or maybe I want to like jump backwards, IAD back. Maybe I want to get some movement options in there, right? To evade my opponent and reset myself to where I have the spacing advantage. And that's where we start to get into the macro of neutral, right? We start to get into the big picture where we're mixing in stuff like checking dashes with our movement options to evade our opponent and to position ourselves a little bit better. So for now, all I'm trying to focus on, if I have to pick one thing in neutral, it's like trying to, one, protect my space and find ways to do that. Because the issue I'm having is people are mashing all the time, right? They're mashing at any point of the game, whether they're waking up, whether they're on hit, right? That's a big thing. Like, people are getting hit and they're mid combo, but as soon as they get a frame out, Like the frame that they drop out of your combo or the frame that they get up off the ground, buttons are flying. Like 2As are flying, auto combos are coming out. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to stand so I'm not getting hit by that stuff and I don't have to hold it, and where I want to stand to where I can blow that kind of stuff up, like counter hit people from outside of their range based on the buttons that they're mashing. And that's not something specific to this game. You probably remember that when Strive came out. When Strive came out, there's a lot of casuals playing, and there was a lot of new players playing who did the same thing. But that game doesn't encourage it as much as this one does because of the auto combo system. Like, for me personally, if somebody's mashing 2A or like mashing a button, like how you can just mash A and get a combo, I think the newer players are seeing that, so they're just mashing the auto combo, because if this A happens to hit, they're getting a full combo. If it doesn't, they don't care. They'll just shield. Like, they'll do auto combo into shield, or they'll just continue the combo. Like, they just don't care. So you have to learn how to play around stuff like that, you know? Knowing how to play against newer players, or like learning how to play against system mechanics that favor that kind of play, like being a little bit more mashy than you're used to, is just part of learning. It happens in every game, you know. There's one character, one type of character that just plays buck wild, you know. In Strive, I'd say it's like Leo. You know, when the game came out, he's very strong because he could just run circles around. He had command grab. He had like very fast overhead, very fast low in the back turn stance. And it takes some time to get used to playing against that. And even now, he's like one of the best characters in the game, I think. This also happened in Street Fighter V when I was playing against like low-ranked Ken players who just do like DP on wake up or like run up DP in neutral. They're just doing crazy things that you're not expecting and you're not ready for, because for me, at least for me, in my head, that's not how I was taught to play the game. So I'm not used to playing against like random stuff like that, you know. Not saying that people are always being random in this game. Obviously there's some methodology to it, but a lot of people are mashing and a lot of people feel like they're playing kind of wild. So you have to learn how to shut that down, and you have to learn how to condition them to stop doing that, because they're going to get punished. But it's on you to know that punish. So if we had to summarize what we learned today, I guess I could say that you have to check the opponent's movement. Not all the time. You're not going to get it 100% of the time, but at least if your opponent's back here running at you, don't wait and just stand here blocking. You know, I do it too. That's what I was doing, and that's what I realized I was messing up on, is that I need to stick something out when they get into my range, because otherwise they're just going to keep doing it, and I'm just going to keep being in the corner pressured all the time. You have to put something out there to stop them. Try not to whiff something, right? Because them running up and mashing something, they might whiff punish you on purpose or on accident. Try and wait till they're in your range. Know the range of your buttons, or at least the one that you want to use to check their ground movement, and be ready. Just be ready to press that button when they get close enough.